Hi, this is John with another review. For the sake, for the sake of this video, we're going to be discussing the 1962 film To Kill a Mockingbird, starring Gregory Peck, and Brock Peters. And also Robert Duvall was also. I think this was like his first, either his first movie role or his first major movie role. Of course, this movie is, of course, based on the famous novel by Harper Lee, the book came out like 2 years earlier. Because this movie is it's pretty basic story, really. And it's been like it takes place in 1932 in Alabama, and a black man was accused of raping a woman, raping a white woman, and Gregory Peck got assigned to defend him. And the guy who was accused of raping this woman was played by Brock Peters. Of course, Star Trek fans would know who Brock Peters is because he played Admiral Cartwright in two Star Trek movies, Star Trek 4 and Star Trek 6. And he also played in Star Trek Deep Space Nine. He played Benjamin Sisko's father in Deep Space Nine. And a couple of years ago, he passed away a couple of years ago. But other than this role, I think those were the only roles that Brock Peters is famous for, being in Star Trek 4, Star Trek 6, and Deep Space Nine. Well, this movie, of course, earned Gregory Peck a Best Actor Oscar for playing the title character of Atticus Finch, who was a lawyer. But the problem is that the American Film Institute named a few years ago, they did a list of the 100 best heroes and villains. And the problem is that they named Atticus Finch the greatest movie hero of all time, over Robin Hood, Superman, Batman, Spider-Man, the X-Men. Named him above all those characters. And after watching this movie, I'm like, why did the AFI name Atticus Finch the greatest movie hero of all time? Why? I think the main reason is because he defended a black man in 1932 Alabama. That is the reason, and that's the stupid reason to pick somebody as the ultimate hero. Because the AFI is so liberal, it's liberal just like all of Hollywood is. And so anybody who defends it, any lawyer or Southern lawyer defends a black man in 1932 Alabama in the segregated South is a greatest movie hero of all time, according to them. I just watched this movie for the first time just the other night, and I'm like, why is this guy the greatest movie hero of all time? And I'm not saying that Gregory Peck is not a good actor, and stuff like that. I always respect Gregory Peck as an actor, but to have him picked as the greatest movie hero is really a joke. It's a joke. It's like saying that Tom Hanks' performance as Forrest Gump is one of the greatest performances of all time. When he played a mentally retarded guy. I mean, come on. Same crap as that. Well, going with the movie, like I said, the movie didn't focus that much on the actual trial. And this is an over 2-hour movie, and about maybe an hour, or 45 minutes to an hour, if that, was focused on, on the trial. The majority of this movie has to do with Atticus Finch and his family, and maybe try to protect the guy who was accused of raping this white woman. And the rest of it is maybe the trial, and that's it. They focus on the trial for maybe about 30 minutes of the movie, over 2-hour movie, over only about, I have to say, about approximately 30 minutes, if that, was focused on the trial. And I don't know how accurate the movie is compared to the book, because I never read the book. But that's all they spent on the trial. I always say The Kill A Mockingbird is one of the greatest novels of all time. And to spend, when the basic plot is, I already mentioned the basic, but where a white lawyer defends a black guy in 1932 Alabama for rape. And if you only spend about 3 minutes of the movie, if that, on the trial, what the hell is the point of having this movie over 2 hours? It was really, 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 really pathetic in that way. Because they spent way too much time on the kids, on Scal, on Jim, and the neighbor who was visiting his aunt for the summer. And of course, if you have to be a Star Trek fan, the kid who was the neighbor appeared in a Star Trek episode called Miri, another Star Trek reference. And I think also the district attorney played Decker, or Commodore Decker, in the Doomsday Machine episode. So you have a lot of Star Trek references in this movie. You know, a lot of actors later on appearing in the Star Trek series, either the original television show or in the movies. You know, later on. And they spent way too much time on the family. And Atticus' relationship with his 2 kids, they spent way too much time in this movie focused on that and not on the trial. Because you never really see Atticus preparing for the trial, talking to his witness, talking to the victim. Well, you do have one scene where he's talking to the victim, or trying to talk to the victim. There's also this one scene where one black Mr. Yule, who later on, towards the end, after the trial, attacks Atticus' 2 kids at the end of the film. And which is a spoiler for those of you who have seen the movie, complaining to Atticus that he's defending this black guy, and he actually says the N-word in this movie. I think this is one of the earliest films where you actually have the N-word in it. And you do have some racial tension, but all 30 seconds. I mean, they had more racial tension in the Time to Kill, in the movie Time to Kill, which was made in 1996, than you had in this movie. You expected this movie had more racial tension than the Time to Kill, because the Kill A Mockingbird was set in the 1930s, so you had more racial tension back then in those days than in 1996 when A Time to Kill was made. But well, nothing of the hero there. But to focus mostly on the family and not so much the trial was ridiculous. There's this one scene where a group of guys wanted to get into the jail because the trial was about to start, and they found out that they transported the guy to the Brock Peters' character to the county jail, so it'd be easy to transport him to the courthouse every day. And they wanted to go in and lynch him. And Gregory Peck is just sitting out there, waiting for them to come get him, and to try to prevent them from doing so. And Scal found out what Atticus was doing, goes to the courthouse trying to stop them from killing the father, or killing, or at least beating up the father first before they get to the to Brock Peters, and she guilts him into not doing it. So they eventually walk away, and that's it. And while doing the trial, of course, Atticus is trying to defend his client, and they brings up the big point, which was that the woman who the rape victim says that proving that, hey, you actually were about to have sex with my client, and you got caught by your father, and so you made up this whole rape story because he didn't want to admit that you want to have sex with my client. So of course that was a huge, that caused a huge big scene in the courtroom, and of course what happens is, of course, the client Brock Peters' character was, of course, obviously was found guilty, even though practically all rape cases, even today, 2018, well, he said, she said things, situations. It's like, who are you willing to believe? Of course, in 1932 Alabama, you're going to believe a white woman over a black fat guy. And of course, Atticus is trying to prove that he could not have hit her where she was hit because Brock Peters' left hand was like paralyzed, so he couldn't use it. And so he proved that, and said, "Oh, he couldn't have hit her, couldn't have done it." And not only that, proved that she wanted to have sex with him. When the victim wanted to have sex with the guy, and then she turned the whole story around. That's basically what it was. But in those days, they rather believe the white woman over than the black guy. In those days, now, you have to understand this movie is based. The story is based in 1932. So of course the guy was found guilty, and of course the big thing was that when he was being transported to the jail, to the prison, he escaped, and he was killed by the marshals. So of course Gregory Peck's character was all upset over that, and that's pretty much how the plot. We only have about 20 minutes in this movie. You know, after Gregory Peck found out what happened to Brock Peters, after Atticus found out what happened, then you had the rest of the movie had to go back to the kids again, and because the story was really from Scout's point of view, really, and so that's why you have so much stuff with her, and she was obsessed with the next door neighbor who heard that the next door neighbor was a lunatic. He was always cutting up stuff and then stabbed his father with something, whatever. With the scissors, because he was cutting up newspapers with a scrapbook or something. And his father got annoyed and he stabbed him, and he was put in a mental hospital. And the Scout was obsessed with this guy. And there was one particular day when they had like a costume thing in school, or costume party in school. So her and her brother Jim was walking home from school to the house, and they got attacked by Mr. Yule, who was a guy who confronted them earlier, or Atticus earlier, because he was defending a black guy. So he was going to attack the kids, and that's when the neighbor, the crazy neighbor, who Scout always called Boo, came out to defend him. We didn't actually see. You just see like a couple of hands or a shadow. You didn't actually see very much because the way it was edited. That Boo stabbed Mr. Yule and defending the kids. Not only defending himself, but also defending the kids from this guy. And Boo could have easily got arrested and went to jail over this. But the sheriff was a little bit sympathetic because he knew that he was defending the kids from this guy, and because this guy, Mr. Yu, was following the two kids and was beating them up, and the guy came in and defended them, and that's what happened. Because I think it was the other way around. I think the Boo was actually attacking the kids, and Mr. Yu tried to defend them, and. No, that's what I think actually happened. But I was watching. I actually never watched the movie, but I didn't really exactly see who attacked who first. If Mr. Yu attacked the kids, or Boo attacked the kids, and Mr. Yu came in. And then Scout says, "Yeah, Mr. Yu attacked us." And we know the way it was edited, you didn't see who. Or the way the film was edited, you didn't see who attacked the kids first. But then Scout says, "Yeah, Mr. Yule attacked us first, and Boo came in and defended us." And after when Atticus talked to the sheriff and said, "I'm not going to press charges on the guy," then Boo confirmed the story that, hey, Mr. Yule did attack us first, and Boo was the one who defended us. But as a film, I thought it was, like I said earlier, it focused more on the kids than the trial. And they focused more on the trial and not so much on the kids. I would have liked this movie better. But I did like Gregory Peck's performance in this film. I did like the performance of the kids. Brock Peters' performance. I thought it was very, very good. I think this might have been his first movie role. I'm not sure. But he did a good job as well in this film. I think everybody who acted in this thing did a good job. But of course, the guy who should have won the Oscar for 1962 for Best Actor was Peter O'Toole for Lawrence of Arabia. He got stiffed for Gregory Peck in this movie. As Peter O'Toole did practically his whole career, he never won an Oscar. He got a Lifetime Oscar, but not for Best Actor. And this was the first time he got stiffed, was not waiting for Lawrence of Arabia, but for nothing. But Gregory Peck got it instead. So that's my review of To Kill a Mockingbird. Please click on the video, please rate it, feel free to comment on it. Please subscribe to my channel, and please forward this video to your Facebook pages. You can check out all my reviews and on my YouTube channel by rallyc.com, that's OWDY, and that's c.com, that's my homepage and Rally Reviewer. Chris Lee Moore, please check out all of his videos on his website. Thanks for watching, and catch you next time.